Hello friends, in this video I want to talk about long-term thinking versus short-term thinking. It's important to understand the reality of the marketplace, especially in the home care business, over the last, let's say, decade, 10 years. And what's really happening to even other industries outside the home care, because what happens in the economy is connected. What happens in the housing market, what happens in the financial markets also affects what happens in the home care business. And you, as a home care business owner, it's your job to have a healthy understanding of the fundamentals of the market so that you can be prepared for anything that comes as a result of the overall economy. When it comes to short-term thinking, this has been the norm for at least a decade. Most bankers, most financial institutions, all they've done is try to loan out as much money as possible so they can make back a ton of money in interest and fees, and allowing people that do not deserve to be loaned up money to just get access to free and cheap money. What that does, it spoils people. It spoils a lot of business owners, and people get comfortable. Good times create weak people, and hard times create strong people. The good times are over. We see this evidently in how the political landscape is now. If you ever wonder, okay, why did all these people vote this way? Because we've reached a point where the majority of people are trying to tell us that things are not so good in the economy. It means that everybody is being squeezed out. Everybody is going through it. You think you're going through it? I promise you, your friends are going through it. Your relatives are going through it. Your employer is going through it. Your potential employee is going through it. Just look at the businesses around you. Everybody's struggling. Everybody. And this is just the beginning of the hard times that are coming. Just the beginning. This hard time is a result of everybody, well, not everybody, I'll say majority of the people thinking short term. There are a lot of people that are trying to be greedy. There are a lot of people that are trying to overcharge for services that don't make any sense. It's okay to, look, I'm not saying that you shouldn't charge really high rates. In fact, I always tell people, when you are starting this business, focus on being like the most expensive agency. Focus on being the most expensive, and I'll explain to you why in a little bit. This short-term thinking has allowed a lot of people to make decisions that are not good for them long-term. Things like borrowing too much money, having a bloated staff, having a process in your agency that is not efficient. Simple things. For example, I'll give you a simple example. We're getting into 2025 right now, and you're a home care agency. Why do you need an HR, a physical HR staff in your office? Why do you need that? You don't need that anymore. Software can replace that. Software with AI, with artificial intelligence, can replace a whole HR department. So why do you still have physical staff that is doing HR work for your home care agency? That's going to cost you thousands of dollars that you don't need to pay. The hard times that we're descending into right now, economically, are going to demand that you become lean and efficient and switch your short-term thinking to long-term thinking. It's no longer a luxury for you to say, oh, I have saved up $100,000, so I'm going to set up my home care business and blow through 100 G's before I even get my first client. That's not an option anymore. If you have 100,000 or even 50 grand in your account right now, ready to invest in this kind of business, you need to be thinking, how can I make this work on 10% of that? Maximum 25% of that. That's exactly how you should be thinking, because we're getting into a really bad economy, because you're going to need every single dime You're going to need to stretch every single dime that you have. I don't care if you got 100 G's in your account right now. This is not the time to be reckless with your money. This is the time to maximize on technology. I just talked about replacing an entire HR department with software that'll cost you maybe, $100 a month. I know you want to hire people. I get it. But your most expensive liability in your business should be your caregiver. Your caregivers should be paid the most amount of money in your city, or else your business is going to run into the ground. By you being known as the agency that pays the most, it allows for you to be able to attract the best of the best. Even though the economy is not good, even though the job market, the people are not so good out there, there's still some good people out there. There's still some good caregivers that will do good work if they get what they deserve in terms of compensation. So, for example, if the going rate for your city is $25 an hour for paying out a caregiver, offer $50 an hour. And then you look for millionaire clients to cover that cost. It is possible for you to get that in this market now, because the type of caregivers that millionaire clients are looking for are not your normal average caregivers. These are caregivers that are very low risk, not necessarily highly skilled. What I've noticed about people with money, when they recruit based on energy. Did you know that? They would rather hire somebody with half the skills, but their energy is so on point. They're low risk. They're not going to bring in bad vibes, versus somebody who's got twice the skill set, but is garbage. It's got negative energy, because to them, their energy is sacred. Their space is sacred. Have you ever been to a rich person's place before? Oh my God. Rich people live weird lives that you think is weird. I think it's fine because they understand people. The biggest headaches for anybody, we all go through the same headaches, and those headaches come from other people. Other people are the source of all headaches. I bet you didn't think about that, did you? Majority of problems, I would say 99% of problems, come through because of other people. People with bad energy, people who are trying to block your blessings. Rich people who live in gated communities because they're trying to run away from bad energy. They will pay a premium for a caregiver who's got the right energy, who's not negative, because the energy is sacred. Focus on the fundamentals now. Because this new economy, just because things are not looking good for most of the people around you, does not mean there's no money. There's plenty of money out there. The United States is still the #1 economy, even though around you're seeing things falling apart. But guess what? But guess what? Go to your nearest rich neighborhood. They're doing better than ever. They're doing better than ever. In fact, they probably doubled their net worth in the last, let's say, 5 years. They've doubled their net worth. $100 an hour for the best caregiver, to them is chump change. It's nothing. Because I'm thinking about it, right? If I had $1 million in my account, which I don't, one day I will, and so will you, because you're watching this, and I got sick, or God forbid, I needed a caregiver, I'm paying a premium for a quality caregiver who doesn't bring bad vibes, bad energy, because my life is already stressful enough as it is. When you get to a certain level of income or wealth, you get different types of problems that me and you don't get. Long-term thinking is the only way to go. What kind of sacrifices are you going to have to make? Well, I'll tell you what they are. Building your home care business to be as lean as possible. Some of you already know, okay, you don't necessarily need a physical office outside of your home, which is fantastic. But if you have a home, set up a home office. Try and use as much software as possible. Try and do as much as possible by yourself. It's been my experience that The more people involved in the building process, the more they're going to hold you back. I mean, simple things, even for me, right? I learned how to set up these cameras. I learned how to set up the lighting. I learned how to set up the mic, or everything you're seeing right now. I do everything myself. I edit my own videos, everything. Because I cannot trust anybody else to come in at like, it's midnight now, and help me out with this. I got to put in the work. If I have to rely on somebody else to set up my lighting, set up my cameras, then I'm going to be held back. Never wait for somebody else if you can do it yourself. Again, pushing yourself to limits that you didn't think were possible is what it requires. Bootstrapping, we'll call it bootstrapping. Bootstrapping is basically when you run your business as lean as possible while saving a ton of cash. Yeah, you might have a lot of money in your savings account, but you don't have to use all that money anymore because technology has come such a long way that you'll be blown away what you can do with so much less cash. You'll be blown away. For example, did you know that you can run TV ads now for as little as $500? I'm talking about TV ads in your city, maybe just in your county. You can do that now, and you completely dominate those ads on Hulu. If you still got Hulu, what are some of the streaming platforms that have ads? Netflix doesn't have ads. YouTube ads too, right? Did you know that you can start running all these ads promoting your home care business just in that little area, and you don't have to blow the budget? Targeting only rich people. Yeah, I will show you how to do that if you schedule time. If you're ready to talk, schedule time. I'll put a link in the description of this video. Let's talk about it. And if you're still stuck in the application process, that's the easy part. The application process, most of you guys that are watching this are super competent, I promise you. You can do all the paperwork yourself. Maybe you just need to call me to validate that what you're doing is good. Then by all means, let's talk. But for the most part, I think you got this. The application part, you got it. But let's talk about those ads though. Let's talk about how to level up your marketing, because that's the next step. That's the next level you got to get to, okay? There's plenty of money out there still. I hope you got some value from this video, and I'll see you in the next one.